Okay.
Hey! Here we are.
Welcome to Beer Reviews with Trenny and C. One thing that we want to make specific note of is that we have a new reviewing scale.
Yeah.
Our new reviewing scale consists of basically, it's a 3-leveled scale. We will either recommend that you buy none, because it's crap.
Yeah.
Buy one, because we're not convinced, or we think you may be able. You got to try it, yeah. Or maybe it's like one of those ones that you can only drink one.
And some people will like really, really love it. So yeah. It's just may not be for us.
We just don't want to say none. Yeah. So we got buy none, buy one, and buy a ton.
Buy a ton.
And buy a ton is a full recommendation.
Like that is buying 1,000 pounds of beer.
Just
literally
buy 1,000.
Buy a ton.
Yeah,
a metric ton.
I think it's 2,000. I think a ton is 2,000.
Really? I thought it was 1,000.
Yeah.
Anyway, you tell us what a metric ton is.
Here we go.
Okay.
This is Guinness Hop House 13 Lager. And let me tell you a little something about Guinness Hop House 13 Lager. Let me read off the can.
Here, how about we pour it first?
Oh, okay.
We're going to crack that open. Do you hear the hiss?
Here we go.
Oh, that is music to my ears right now.
You're ready,
so,
eh?
one of the reasons we love doing beer reviews is because...
Up a bit.
Yeah, just slightly rough it. Because...
little rough.
Professionals. It doesn't have the same cascading effect that
it has a full fist of... a full fist of head.
Yeah, that's like my full hand. Anyway, we started doing beer reviews because it is the most consumed, well, besides water and tea, it is the most consumed alcoholic beverage on the planet.
And besides water, I think it's my most consumed beverage.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I don't drink tea. So it's number 2 for me as well.
You might actually drink more beer than water.
That's probably true.
Okay. Sorry, carry on.
Anyways,
you're saying why we started a channel.
We started this channel because there is such a huge variety. Craft beer, especially in Victoria, BC, Canada, where we are from, has blown up. There's so many different varieties of beers, so many different breweries out there. Yeah. Also, it's so refreshing, and we love to actually drink it.
So flavorful.
It's so flavorful, and we get to, this time of year, it's starting to be summer, and you don't want to, really refresh yourself with a warm glass of whiskey after work. No. You want to crush a beer.
And we will get into some of those local beers that we have here, but we kind of wanted to kind of get established with some of the more well-known brands.
Yeah.
And then we will move into those craft beers that are local to us.
Yes. Okay, so we got the Guinness Hop House 13 Lager.
Do you want to read off the can 5%?
Go ahead.
Okay. Basically, it says right here, a group of enterprising brewers on a quest to explore new recipes, reinterpret old ones, and collaborate freely to bring exciting beers to life. Hop House 13 is named for the building where hops were once stored at St. James Gate. A golden lager with refreshing taste and a clean, crisp finish, brewed with Irish barley and double hopped. There you go.
Hey, the more you know.
The more you know.
So, while you're doing that, I had a sip, and I have my first impression.
Okay. Hold on. Should we see if they match?
You go ahead. You have your sip, but I'm going to say lagers are not always all that interesting to me because they sometimes have this kind of aluminum flavor, and they're so light that there's not much going on.
It's a boredom factor.
However, my first impression and taste of this beer, it has all those elements. But
of the aluminum and boredom.
But there is this kind of nice yeasty aged kind of feeling to this beer that I'm really liking right now.
I think you're right. I think that although it is very traditionally lager, that IPA really, the hops really helps it out. It really helps it take it a little bit above that range of boredom that you get from a lot of these mass-produced lagers.
Mm-hmm. And this one being a regular 5% alcohol, which Guinness is usually in the 4.2 range, is a nice addition. And it just, like you said, it has like that extra bit of flavor. It's not hop forward. It's still very much a lager.
Yes.
But it has a little bit more depth. It's almost kind of like
there's more character to it. It's a little more interesting. It's a little more robust.
A little more bready. Like there's some bread kind of flavors on there. It's really nice. So I would choose this over, like, say, I don't know if you guys get Lucky where you're from, but Lucky is like a really popular lager around here.
Compared to Budweiser,
Budweiser, sure. I would take this over Budweiser any day of the week. Yeah.
Yeah, because Budweiser is pretty much like an overly sweet, boring kind of lager, right?
And
this isn't trying to mask anything with a sweetness. It's got a little bit of something happening.
The sugars and the savory notes work really well together on this one. It's not what you would expect from Guinness. Like, you don't go into this one thinking, oh, it's got that Guinness flavor.
And Guinness has tried a few different things. Like, they have a blonde. Is it a blonde ale?
They have a blonde ale, and it's just not.
It falls flat for me.
Yeah, it does too. Yeah,
literally.
Yeah, literally flat.
This one has a little bit of carbonation. It's a medium kind of carbonation.
And the way you poured it, it's got lots of head.
Yeah, there's barely any carbonation left now, but I think it's pretty decent.
I like it, actually. So on our scale, what are you going to rate it?
I'm going to say this is a by one for me.
Really?
It's not a by none. It's not by a ton. I think it's a by one because I want people to try it for themselves. And, if you're a craft beer drinker, you might be like, you know what, it just doesn't have enough for me. But at the same time, if you're a regular lager drinker, you might buy one and then decide you're going to move to buy a ton. So,
sure.
For me, I'm not prepared to give it a full-blown buy a ton.
And for me, I think because it is Guinness is a world-renowned beer.
Right.
And either you love it or hate it or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But this is kind of in that medium range where a lot of people will be able to drink this and be like, oh, I do like it.
Mass appeal.
But it's more interesting than your regular lager.
True.
So for people that are really into craft beer, you sometimes being a craft beer drinker, you go back to these regular beers and go, oh, okay, there's nothing happening here.
Mm-hmm.
This is a little bit more interesting. So I would actually say buy a ton. And that's the reason. That's my reason. I could picture drinking this on a lake in the summertime and being completely satisfied.
Well, then, you tell us if you've had it. Leave us a comment and tell us, buy none, buy one, or buy a ton. Hey, click like a ton and subscribe a ton. I mean, that's what I have to say.
And share this video a ton.
And share the ton out of this.
All right. Cheers, guys.
Thanks for watching, and thanks for drinking beer.
Subscribe.